Welcome back. The first of two cases of Biden's student loan forgiveness program has been struck down, as we just reported, in a 6-3 decision by the Supreme Court. Joining us now to discuss today's rulings is financial expert Hashemian from Kinetic Financial. Thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it. When I look at this, the Biden administration used the higher education relief opportunities for students. This came post 9/11. It was meant as a law that Congress passed as the country was going to war potentially after 9/11. It's supposed to be used for war, military, or in this case, they were using the national emergency with the pandemic happening. So that's what this all boiled down to. You're talking about $430 billion in debt. This impacts so many people. How do you see this playing out in the financial world?
I mean, it's tough for people that have student debt. They got to manage that debt. You know, there's credit card debts, home debt, and they're trying to deal with all of these financial things all at once. So losing that is a big effect on these people that really are having trouble to manage their finances. But it would have been really expensive for the government to forgive all of that debt.
Yeah, we talk about, this pandemic, these pandemic era relief initiatives. There was the housing forgiveness when it came to mortgages. There was business loans and forgiveness for paying back some of the business loans, or at least extensions on them. And then there was the student loan debt piece of this. And we talk about how everything is being played out now post-pandemic. How do you think America is shaking out with having had all of these debt forgiveness programs during the pandemic, this being just one of them or an attempt at it?
I mean, this money's got to come from somewhere, right? And so when you look at it, I guess the silver lining to this is that the taxes would have probably gone up in the future to help cover some of these forgiveness programs. That tax money would have had to come from our pockets. So a lot of the same people that would have been forgiven the debt also would have maybe been paying more in taxes down the line. Again, I would look at that as the only silver lining here.
Well, that's, we talk about this almost every day, that post-pandemic, the economy has been so unpredictable. You look at the supply chain shortage and what happened. You look at the student loan forgiveness. We've now seen that some of these pandemic programs, there was a lot of fraud that had to do with them. So is this just another way to right the ship as we kind of move toward a post-pandemic world?
I mean, that's a great way of looking at it. With everything going on in the economy and all of the uncertainty, I mean, we had banking collapses, we had a debt ceiling issue, you have inflation like you were talking about, Jamie. With all of that uncertainty, I do think that this is a potential way to help bolster the economy right now and give us some confidence that we're not just going to go spending rampantly.
So this affects about 43 million people. They thought that they may have been forgiven for about $20,000 worth of student loan debts. If you're one of those people who's kind of now in limbo wondering, what am I doing? How do I sign up to start paying back? How do I afford this? What is your advice to them if they come to you as a financial planner?
Start doing your research now. So go find out who your service provider is and take a look at all of your options. There are still some great options to help reduce the payments. So I would get on this as soon as possible. As you both know, I'm a big believer in planning. And so if you really want to get your finances in order, get on it today. These student debt payments are going to be coming up in just a couple of months. And for a lot of people, they haven't had to make payments for going on 3 years. So now is the time for you to start figuring out your payment schedules and different methods that you can reduce those payments.
All right. Well, good advice. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.